Can you go more into that, what it's like to be a part of this rivalry?
Well, I mean, homes are divided. People don't speak to each other this week. You know, I mean, schools are divided. Friends don't talk. Bragging rights. I mean, that's what it is. Everybody wants to brag about their team. There's a lot of pride in both these universities with the fan bases, and everybody wants to brag about their team won the game. And you know, especially as of late, you know, with the history of the rivalry as we're talking about, I mean, it's really been kind of lopsided, and you know, South Carolina's kind of been on top and had a heck of a run, and that's just added a little fuel to it probably as far as evening out both sides, as far as everybody just, you know, having a little taste of both sides of it. But I've been on both sides, and I can just tell you it's a lot better when you win in this state. And I hate that it's that way. You know, there's some people out there they'll you know, I've had people come up to me, you can go 1-11 as long as you beat South Carolina. But they'll be the first one trying to fire you. You can go 6 straight against South Carolina and go 6 1-11s, and you're not going to be here very long. So you can't ever make everybody happy unless you win them all. There's always going to be people disappointed. That's just the nature of the deal here. But when you win this one, it makes it a much better off season.
Is your defense set up to still succeed this year after you lose all these seniors?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why you recruit. I mean, everybody loses seniors. I'm not going to close up shop. I mean, we got a bunch of good players back. I mean, Shaq Lawson's a pretty good player. He's going to be back. And DJ Reader and Carlos Watkins and Kevin Dodd and Ebo and Martin Aiken and Pagano. I mean, we got some good players. We just got to grow some new guys up. That's why you go recruit. We got to have a great recruiting class coming in here. We're not going to be we're going to be very good with our front line. We won't have what we have this year. We got a lot of talent, depth, and experience. So we won't have quite the same amount of experience. But I think when it's all said and done, we'll have good depth. We'll have good talent. But we're going to have some youth that we're going to have to grow up. I think we've got good linebackers coming back in Ben and Kellen, and y'all going to love Corey Rogers and Kendall Joseph and Chris Register. Y'all going to love them guys. And we got a couple guys coming in here mid-year, Jalen Williams and Chad Smith. They're going to be joining us here in a few weeks. We got a lot of secondary guys back. We're going to lose Robert, who's been a great leader for us. But, man, Jadar and T.J. Green have gotten some good experience, and they're on their way to being great players. We got a couple of freshman corners that hadn't had a lot of opportunity yet that have really bright futures. You know, Gary Peters will be moving on. So, you know, Martin, we're going to lose Martin. Martin had, you know, we all know Martin's kind of, you know, hadn't been on the field a lot anyways with injuries. So we're going, yeah, absolutely. We're built as a program, you know, to make a run, to be very consistent. And I said that a few years ago, and that's kind of what we've done. It's been a little bit of a transition year for us offensively, but you know, we still had a good year and got a chance to have a great year if we can finish this thing the right way.
Cole said that after the Georgia Tech game, he didn't practice any with the first team, and obviously he struggled in that game. Is he getting any reps with the first team this week? Oh
yeah, he's taking all the reps with the ones. You know, I mean, because again, we're still trying to test the water with Deshaun. It's a daily deal that we're going through with him. So we're going to prepare Cole to be the starter, and then we'll make the decision on Deshaun as we go through the week and you know, see where he is at the end of the week.
With or without Deshaun, and I know we have to keep it in perspective, does what Tyshawn did the other day give you additional hope and another weapon for this game?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's you know, everybody wants to say, well, you know, he had a great game. Well, how come he didn't do that the first game he came? Why didn't we do that? You know, and that's just really a lack of understanding of the process that this guy has had to go through. He has not played. I mean, literally, when he got back to practice, it was like the first time he's practiced football in forever, since those first 3 days of fall camp, his freshman year. And not only has he not practiced football, no offseason, no spring practices, no summer workouts, all rehab. And so you can't just throw a guy out there and say, go get him. He's had no reps, you can't, you can sit in a meeting room forever and ever and ever, but until you can actually go out and execute the ball handling, the alignments, the protection, it's a lot. And it's taken us a good 3 weeks, first of all, to just get him in a little bit of football shape, and also just to get him confident in what he needs to do. And so, he still had a few missed assignments the other day, but he played well, and we really didn't know. But I just felt like after really watching him for 3 weeks, okay, hey, we're ready to really challenge this guy, and let's just force it. And so, I told Tony, I said, he's going in the first quarter, and we're going to just feed him, and we'll respond from there. Now, I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know if he'd go out there and just, completely be gassed or not, not have the right tracks, have a bunch of missed assignments. I didn't really know. But as he played, he got better and better, and you could see his confidence growing. So absolutely, I think what he was able to do as he's built himself back into this thing, he's definitely a factor this weekend in the bowl game, which is what we were all hoping. We were all hoping that by the end of the year that Tyshawn could be some type of factor. I didn't know when he would play, but I knew he would play. So we're encouraged, by what we saw, and obviously going against a whole different animal this week. But we've gained more confidence in him in being able to go out and play. And certainly with a month of bowl practice or however long we're going to get in bowl practice, depending on what bowl we'll go to, that's going to benefit him. But nothing is going to benefit him like an off season. But it's exciting I know it's been a hodgepodge this year, but Zach Brooks coming back, Tyshawn and Gallman, those two guys right there, I think are going to be really special to watch them grow up. I kind of see our running back situation kind of where we were in the DL a few years ago when everybody's talking about, well, we didn't have any DL, and when Grady and all them guys were freshmen and sophomores, and now they're full-grown men. And I kind of see the same thing in our running backs. I think over the next couple of years we got a chance to really become special at that position. With Tyshawn and Gallman and getting Zach Brooks back, and Zach was able to redshirt. C.J. Fuller's going to be a heck of a player. Nobody ever even talks about him. But I see him out on the practice field every day. He's going to be a factor. Obviously, Adam Choice, who became a starter for us this year. So we've got some interesting pieces that we just haven't had the last couple of years that are on board. They're in the fold. We got to grow them up. But I'm really excited about our future at that position. We got Jalen Oglesby, coming in here, who's going to be a dynamic playmaker for us. He'll start in January as well. So it's a good group. C.J. Davidson's got another year. We've got some good people that are going to turn into really good backs.
Coach, what do you think about the noon kickoff? Would you rather have a night game in this rivalry?
Shoot, man, let's get up and play. That clock's been ticking for a year. That's just a few less hours that thing's got to tick. Let's go play. I mean, hey, I sit around and wait all day to play the game. Let's go play. And Saturday night, everybody's either going to be happy or they're going to be really unhappy. But we're going to go find out. And I'm excited about getting out on the field. It's great to be at home. I hadn't looked at the weather yet, but hopefully it's a good day, and let's get up and go play.
Coach, biggest challenge trying to slow down South Carolina's offense?
Well, I mean, the biggest challenge for us is taking care of the ball, because that has been an Achilles heel in this game. I mean, and I can't even explain it, not going to try to, other than it's been a real problem for us. So that's the biggest challenge, making sure that we do what we need to do. But as far as their team, this offense that we're going to play, they're really good. I mean, and they've been good all year. They've been very consistent. They've had big play, explosive big plays in the run game and the pass game. They've, you know, like I said, I think Dylan, they put him in really good situations to be successful in doing the things that he's very comfortable with. You know, they throw a lot of the smash verts and the corner routes. He throws a nice ball. The timing of it, he sits back there deep. I mean, he's 6 yards, and I mean, he's almost 10 yards a lot of times when that ball's coming out. So it's hard to get to him if he can stay in rhythm. And then they've done a nice job of, you know, Connor Shaw is gone obviously, and so they've really created more of that element with 11. You know, he's brought, and he can throw the ball. So you can't just say, oh, well, we're running the Wildcat, not going to throw the ball. I mean, he threw one against us last year through a post route. I think we had a pass interference on that play. So they've just done a nice job, a really nice job with running their system. And again, kind of like we are defensively, they got a lot of veterans, a lot of experience. So from a matchup standpoint, I think there's a lot of similarities, you know, with the teams.
Spurrier hasn't said definitely, you know, what his coaching plans are. Do you think this might be the last time you face off against him?
Heck no. Man, Coach Spurrier going to coach till he's 100. First of all, you know, my father-in-law is 70. My dad is 70, and they don't look like Coach Spurrier. I can tell you that. He's done a nice job of taking care of himself, and I think that he can coach as long as he wants to. He's got a great staff. I mean, he's got, you know, I mean, GA and Junior, they're huge factors for what they do offensively, and Sean Elliott and those guys, and then defensively, he's got a good staff. He's got good people around him, and he's been there long enough to where he's got his systems in places and his processes, and you know, they recruiting good. So I think he'll coach as long as he wants to, and go out on his terms, and he deserves to be able to do that. But I'd be very surprised. I hope not. I need a few more years. I got to try to catch him, you know, before he gets out of here.
Do you enjoy the challenges of going up against a guy like Coach Spurrier?
Absolutely.
Even though he'll throw some jabs in from time to time, is that still
Absolutely. I'm a competitor. You know, I didn't get here, you know, by not being a competitor. I love to compete. It doesn't matter what it is. I go against Manny out there in noon ball. I want to win. I ain't happy when the other team gets to 7 before we do. I want to win in everything, and it's an honor. It's awesome to be able to compete against the best, and that's why I went to Alabama. You know, I wanted to play at the highest level, and I thought I could, and I wanted to prove that I could. You know, and to go there and earn a scholarship, you know, was a great accomplishment, and something that I've always cherished, and have never forgotten that day, because I know how hard I worked to get there, and I wasn't afraid to work. I wasn't afraid to fail. You know, I think that's the key. You know, when you put yourself, you can't be afraid to fail. If you're afraid to fail, you're never going to accomplish anything great. You know, you look at every great winner out there, all of them. You know, they all had big losses, big defeats, but they didn't get discouraged by that. They got better. You know, and that's what I've always tried to do. And so you get an opportunity to compete against the best of the best. Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm only 45. And so to have this opportunity this early in my career to go against some of these guys is special. I remember when I was at Alabama playing, we played Penn State in '89 and '90. And I remember standing over there as a young guy, you know, saying, man, that's Joe Paterno. I mean, it was just, I'm like, I grew up, I'm like, it's Joe Paterno. It's just amazing to me. And then same thing when I was playing. I mean, you know, Coach Spurrier was coaching at Florida. He was probably about, I guess, about my age, maybe a couple years older when he was coaching at Florida. And, you know, I'm playing against him. And so to now have opportunity to coach against him after all that he's done is, you know, it's exciting. You know, Coach Bowden, you know, getting a chance to coach against Coach Bowden and Coach Rick and Coach Miles and Urban Meyer and all those guys that we've had a chance to go against. It's been Coach Beamer. I mean, I've had a real privilege to coach against some of the best coaches, you know, in this business that have been doing it a long. Paul Johnson have been doing it a long, long time. So, you know, 15 years from now, I'm gonna be the old guy, and there'll be some other whippersnappers that are playing right now that'll be coaches, and you know, hopefully y'all will be asking them that question about me. That'd be great.
Has his chatter helped amp this up a little bit? Has it made it?
Maybe with the fans, you know. I mean, he's maybe with the fans, but that's just, like I said, that's Coach Spurrier. He's been that way forever.
Anything else?